Hey guys, thanks for joining me. I got some interesting stuff to show you here. Stuff I've been waiting for, and just everything's starting to show up. So let me get right to it. First and foremost, I ordered a Leader 120 frame. I just actually ordered two of them, and just want to have one for spare. And Lewis Lee, quick shout out to you, buddy. Thank you for sending me this new stack for the Leader 120. According to Lewis, these will be installed in the I guess newer batches of the Leader 120 sometime in the future. I'm not sure when, but thanks Lewis for sending this out for review, and I will definitely get this built out into one of these frames as soon as I can and get a review out on that. Alright, and then star of today's show is the Nemesis X frame from BRDM Quads. Now this is the updated version that is going to take the Zeus. Supposedly they adjusted some of the frame to fit the Zeus board. So I want to go through and build this with you guys watching, and so you can see how the fit and quality is and where things can go and stuff. And then I'll probably follow up with a flight test video after. But we'll get to that in a sec. I want to show you guys all the components going in. I guess since I already mentioned it, we'll put this Zeus up first here. Let's go focus. There we go. Looks just like the last one that's in the Leader 120. And there it is. So this one came with a sticker. I'm not sure. This one came from Get FPV. This one came from Race Day, and Race Days came with a sticker. So that will be the flight controller, ESC, everything in one to go into the frame. And then the VTX will be, this one is actually the RunCam's version of the TX200. Where's that sticker at? Here it is. So if you see that clearly, it says TX200. It's like the same name, but I guess this is RunCam's version. Not sure whose is the original, but expect it to work just like the Full Speed RC TX200, and it's switchable also just like that one. I'll probably change this linear or this dipole to an axis, but just to get everything together quickly, I'll probably just try it out with this first while I order that axis. And then for the cameras, I chose the CADX SDR1. This thing has some awesome reviews. Video footage of it looks amazing. So you guys check out Gal Kremer's channel, and he has a review on this among other cameras. And this one has that wide dynamic range, and supposedly has, like, I'm not sure, don't quote me on that, but this 0.0001 lux, and supposed to work really good at night too, which was exciting to see. But check out his video on this. He rides through the city, Tel Aviv I think it is, and he shows video footage riding through the city in the daytime and at night, compared against other cameras like the Micro Swift 2, I think this Micro Sparrow, and in his most recent, he compared this, among others, against the very popular Foxeer Predator, and even the micro version that just came out. But I chose the SDR1. I liked the picture quality the best. Thanks Gal Kremer for that review. Really appreciate it. And then for the motors, I chose the Sunny Sky 1106 6500 kV. Quick note on these guys. There's a new batch, I guess, or they redesigned the shaft thanks to BRDM, and I think Blair helped them out with some designs with that. But this is the older version, and if you notice there, that recessed portion by the shaft, I guess there was problems with this bell popping off because of the connection between the motor shaft and the bell. It wasn't on there very tightly. So If you look for BRDM on YouTube, there's a channel, there's a video where they show you how to, you have to use this 638 Loctite, and you have to take the shaft out and scuff it a little bit and put it back in with the Loctite, and that has supposedly done very well to keep this bell from disconnecting from the shaft. And I had built this little jig here to get it on there perfect. Come on, focus. But yeah, this took me a while last night, guys. See, I have it set perfectly to where there's enough play here in the bell. But check out his video. I followed his directions to a T and had no issues. These have been setting overnight so far, so I'm gonna let them set a little while longer. Other than that, everything else. The receiver, I'm waiting for it. Been on the fence about my Turnigy Evolution, guys, so it took me a little while to decide, but I went ahead and ordered another FS82 from Amazon just to put in for now. It was like under $13, so it's the one I have in the leader, actually that one, and it's been doing well. I haven't really range tested it. I watched some range test videos on YouTube, and I should be able to go further, but for now that's what I'm waiting for it to come in. And alright, so I want to get to this build, guys, featuring the Nemesis X. Can't wait to get it built. I'm gonna go ahead and build it while recording so you guys can see how it all goes together, and the space and the fit and the finish and everything. You'll be able to see it. So let me get all set up for that, and I'll be right back. Alright guys, I'm back. I got everything set up. Got my 1.5 and 2 millimeter drivers here. I'm not sure what I'll need yet. Had this for a day and a half now, or maybe a little longer, and been waiting on this the install components to get here. And as you can see, it's still sealed, and I don't know, thought it'd be exciting just to open it with you guys watching here on the video. And here we go. Let's get her opened up and see what's inside. Gonna go ahead and put it all together while recording here. And let's see, it's such a small envelope. And curious to see what's all in here. Okay, this looks like the light bar. I heard this is like a custom mount for the frame specifically to mount that light bar. And here's all the components. Looks like you get all the blue standoffs and screws needed. Looks pretty good there. And then the frame, well, looks like a top plate and oop, come on, top plate and a camera cage there on the front. What's this in here? And the bottom plate. Oh guys, look at that. Come on, focus. Look at that. Looks very nice. Wow. Alright, so looks like that's everything. Put this out of the way here, and let's get to it. Bear with me guys, never done this before. Did some soldering and some other stuff, but never really did put a frame together on video before. So looks like I'm having issues with focus here. There we go. There's all the screws. Whoa, looks pretty interesting here. Now I did read up on some of the build notes and stuff on RC Group's forum, so we'll get to that later. And here is the top plate and camera cage. I might forward or speed up the video as I go through this, guys, so I will just get started. You guys check that out, how gorgeous that keyed in there. I didn't have any issues pressing that in. It felt really nice. Here's the second one. Wow, their tolerances are awesome. I mean, that just keyed right in there, guys, and look how solid it is without doing anything. It looks like this goes between here. Yep. Alright guys, one thing to note here, I have the build guide up on my computer now. Look at the standoff here, guys. One side the screw will go all the way in, and one side it will stop. So make sure you put the short side is meant to go for the chassis so that it doesn't thread all the way in. And I guess it would matter because you wouldn't be able to tighten that all the way down on the top plate properly. You see there's going to be a ever so slight gap. So make sure you put that in properly if you build this frame. So that side is the frame side. But what I did to double check is, you see all the screws, I threaded them into the top of the standoffs to make sure I had them in right, and there's no gap, so that's definitely for the top plate. Alright guys, decided to whip out the Zeus here just to see how much room we have, and that will decide how high I want to go with this with how these screws mount up here. But just want to see how high that's gonna be. See there. Now there's going to be a connector here on this, so you have to make sure you have room, and that connector looks like it's going to be facing the camera side, and would like to keep the orientation normal so I don't have to change anything in beta flight. With the camera and the connector up front, you can see that there. We'll go from the side view and we'll just see how deep that sits. So yeah, even with the camera, and even if I did end up piggybacking the TX200 to the back, it should be just fine. Alright, so I secured the stack screws here. They are nylon, and to save weight I suppose, and they're in there pretty nice. Double checked them, and I want to make sure that those are snug in there. You know, you can only go hand tight because these are nylon Phillips heads. That's a nylon nut on top of a washer on top of the white insert that goes into the frame. And I'm not going to just leave the FC to tighten down on that washer. I wanted that nut there to secure the screw in place. So I think what I'll do is, just like I did on the leader, I'll cut these in half, and they seem to work really well. You can't really see them, but there's actually one right under that nut there. Let's see if we can see this side. There's another one right there that I cut perfectly to size. See, so there is dampening in the one installed in the leader. I'm going to do the same to these, and I'll be right back. Alright guys, I know that's going to be hard to see, but that is an O-ring basically cut in half. See the thickness difference there? Then I trim them up with my scissors here just to have just around the screw or the nut head part, and that will get me my soft mount. I know it's kind of tedious, but I want everything to work perfectly, so I go ahead and take the extra time to do this part. Alright guys, got the FC mounted nicely here. I wasn't gonna do like the build here, just doing the frame to show you guys a little bit of what I do to prep the frame. And I take my time. I take quite a long time to do it, but I'll try to get you a view of those soft mounts. They are right in there. See if we can get some light on the bottom. See that one down there? Get a little pointer here. Right there. All the way around. A little bit of soft mount. And on the tops. Alright guys, let's have a look at the LED. Looks like it's got a nice 3D printed part here. It is very solid. If anything, it'll help with the rigidity of the side force this way on this on these back standoffs, but it's not TPU. It's very rigid. So it looks like the LEDs, you could mount them facing up or down. I guess facing down would be optimal because the quad will be flying like that. Let's just try how this slots on here on the standoffs. Perfectly, of course. Look at that. That's some gorgeous work there. And from the side you can see that angle. And something they were talking about was on the Zeus board, the main positive negative, to make sure to solder to the bottom. I'll point at it with these tweezers here. Get the focus better. Right there are the pads from the bottom. This circular one right here that I'm tapping on. So if you use the Zeus board like I'm going to do, wire your positive negative to the battery underneath. That way the wires don't see how there's barely any space under from the top. You want the power wires coming straight out the bottom. That way it doesn't stick out and hit the light set, because the LED set is gorgeous for this. There's even a nice little slot for where you're going to solder those pads. Look at that. Let's go with some traditional frame review stuff. We'll measure the motor to motor length here. 130 it looks like it's coming in at, going across the back. Looks to be about 96, no, 93 or 92 going across. And that's across the front and back, and then from front to back it looks like the same, 91 or 92. So it is an X. Just looks kind of stretched because of the way it comes in here, but it is a true X frame. Alright guys, here we are. I wanted to give you guys my closing thoughts on the Nemesis X frame, and before I give you my opinions here, I wanted to show you some assembly notes. And you get 4 of these thicker nylon nuts here, so I opted to put them on the bottom, and then you get 4 thin ones, and I put those on the top. And also I noticed I didn't put in 4 washers, so I put them here before the nylon screw for the stack. Other than that, let's go over some build quality notes, guys. This carbon fiber is amazing. The cut they did on it is, I don't know where Blair had this cut, but it doesn't appear to be chamfered unless it's like lightly chamfered, but it's basically a straight cut from what I can feel, and there is no, it's not sharp at all. You see me rubbing my hands over it, it's just super smooth. And I was very actually not so much surprised, just delighted to see how quality that cut is, and the quality of the carbon fiber is gorgeous. So I measured this previously, guys. This bottom frame is 3 millimeters. Let's do it. Yep, 3 millimeters for the chassis, 1.5, probably about 1.5 for the camera cage side plates, and then 1.5 for the top. Let me show you guys how this keys in here. It's just like butter. It goes in there. I'm in already, and it perfectly slots right in to the cutouts, and there's no grinding or sharpness or any kind of sanding that had to be done. Here's the top part, keys right into the slots, no issues there at all. So right there, it's just a perfect fit. One thing I did find that might be something I have to reach out to Blair about is the, sorry about that guys, charging batteries over here while I do a review. The camera I have sitting right there, that is a Caddx SDR1, and it's basically the same size as most every micro out there, which is 19 millimeters wide. And the only thing I found that could possibly be an issue is the camera here. Just watch me slide it in there. It's very loose to go in, so I'm not sure whether I'm supposed to try to put a washer in there. I'm not sure if you guys can see the gap. Just gonna turn it slowly. There it is. So it's barely a millimeter wide, and I don't really have nylon washers that'll fit on each side. May have to just try to slide one on one side, or if I'm meant to sandwich it in with the screws that come with the camera. So this review is taking long, guys. I like to take my time with this stuff because I don't want to rush anything or overlook anything. So before I get to the next point, I need to just gonna lightly screw these in. I don't know if you catch the gap while I'm doing this, but there's a little gapper. The only other thing I found that might be an issue for some people, it might even be an issue for me because I'm a beginner, guys. Getting close to my my 3rd month in this stuff here, and here it is. There is a standoff, a horizontal standoff here, as you can see, and if I totally adjust the camera all the way down, that's as far down as I can go. And of course, I don't want to go touch that because of vibrations. I want to be just off it, maybe a millimeter or half a millimeter, to avoid it touching there. And if you look from the side, that is a pretty steep angle. If you look from the edge of the frame, that's a good 35 degrees, and that's at the lowest possible setting. So it might be more for advanced pilots because there is no option to lower it. And I actually, can fly a little better now than since I started, and I still lower my camera flying near my house or in proximity areas where I need to look lower instead of more full speed at this angle. I mean, if you look at that, I've got the camera facing straight vertical right now, and when you're at that angle, you're going pretty fast. So for beginners, they're probably flying like this, at like this angle, and you'll end up looking up and you won't see the ground as much. Anyways, I don't want to drone on about that, guys, but that's the only thing I could find that could possibly be a problem for this, is the fitment here. Are we supposed to smash it in? Like I said, I'll get with Blair on that. And then the height of the camera angle. It's pretty steep, and there's no option to do anything about that. So, alright, before I go, guys, wanted to give you guys the weight of the frame. The scale out here. So I'm going to give you guys the weight of the frame with and without the LED. So here we go without, and it's at 22 grams. And then with it, 24 grams. So 2 grams for the 3D printed LED mount. So there you go, 24 grams, guys. It looks pretty good. Also wanted to give you a weight of the Zeus board, showing up at 6 grams, because this is definitely going to be an option to install into that frame. And obviously if it's the leader and the Nemesis X. People may go for this option for this frame, the full speed 28 amp stack, showing up at 8 grams. So wait, that's unfair. I put those in there. All I'm gonna weigh is just the stack with the required cable to go between the two. Zero that out, and it's the same weight. So there you go. I mean, really what you're gonna gain with a smaller or a single stack is the convenience of mounting and space for other things. And honestly, that isn't the highest stack I've ever seen, even for a 2.5 inch. So, you know, it might be more convenient for someone to go this route or to go this route. As far as weight, it's the same. Price is about a little over double. So I think this is about $32 at fullspeedrc.com, and this is $72.99 from Race State Quads, and I think $71 from Get FPV. So your choice there, guys. Other than that, before I go, this is definitely not a beginner type quad where you pick it up and fly it. There's a lot of thought that goes behind it. There was a lot of thought in this design, gorgeous design, and they took their time getting it done, produced in a quality controlled way, because the carbon fiber and the fitment of everything is gorgeous. And then one last thing, guys, I want to go over price. This is about $65 with the LED kit. I can't remember what shipping was, but I think it's $49.99 for just the frame, and the LED adds another 14 and change. So about $65 for the frame and LED. Then you get your motors. That's $40 right there. Then you get the camera, which is $35. So you're at $140 right there. If you buy this board like I did, that's $210. And then the TX200 is going to add another $22 approximately. And then the receiver, which is another $13 I think I paid on Amazon for the FS82. If you get the RXSR, if you're need a FR Sky receiver, those are $20. So all around $250 to build something custom and quality, guys, versus spending, you know, $100 to $150 for a pre-built. And sometimes you get some gems like the Leader 120 that are awesome out of the box, but this is a custom built machine here, and you get to choose your components, and that's what you pay for in this, going to this route, guys. It's very, very nice. I think it's worth it in every which way once you get a little bit of experience under your belt to build something out like this. And from start to finish, there's a certain kind of I don't know, you get some satisfaction in building everything, and instead of just hoping and trusting that the pre-built you got works okay. So alright, guys, closing thoughts. This thing is amazing. I love the quality of it, the design of it, the looks of it, and the components they used are top notch. So thanks, BRDM Quads. You guys really designed a winner here. I already know it's gonna fly great, and I will get a flight video as soon as I get everything installed, which will be coming in the next couple days, guys. Alright, guys, thanks for spending the time with me here to look at the Nemesis X from BRDM Quads. I'll leave links in the description for all the components, and especially for the frame.